Thank you all for joining the today's SAP S4HANA Logistics module demo session. And I would request you introduce yourself to each other. Whoever joined the session, you just need to explain, your name and your experience in SAP. So these two are fine. Okay. And if you have anything special, you can also just share your inputs. Thank you. So I hope we can start with Fawad.
Yeah, hi sir. My name is Mohammed Fawad, and I have around 1.5 years of experience working in Tech Mahindra. Previously, I have domain experience of 9 years in the banking industry. Now I'm working in SAP SD module.
Okay, basically you have experience in SD, right? That's what we need. SD or
Yes, yes, SD and GTS as well. Yeah.
Okay, sure, no problem. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, and then Giri, I spoke to you yesterday evening, but still, I would ask you just introduce yourself to the team members in the session.
Yeah. Hey, my name is Giri. I have 15 years experience in SAP. Worked in various modules. Currently, I'm into SRM, and Swiss inventory and warehouse kind of modules.
Okay, that's good. Like having an exposure to multiple areas of SAP. That's really good, to catch to compete with the new technologies. Okay, thank you. And next, Krishna.
Hey, Krishna. I have more than 15 plus years of experience in SAP. I work a lot in the logistics, mainly the SDMM, and I work a lot in the finance, mainly the fixed assets, and I have great experience in the IDOCS area. I learned GTS, but I never worked in the GTS area. Is this Venkat trained in GTS? I attended his classes. I think probably it's the Venkat who sent me the invitation.
Yes, Krishna, and I can recognize your voice. Okay, that's fine. I just you are from New Jersey, right?
Yeah, I am from New Jersey. Yes.
I remember, even recently I spoke to you. I think maybe 6 to 7 months back, 4 or 5 months back, we spoke to each other, right?
Yeah, probably I forgot. Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. I will talk to you after the session. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no problem, sir. No problem.
And Kuladeep. Kuladeep.
Okay. Hi, Krishna. This is Kuldeep. I have an experience of 8 years in SAP MM and exposure in SAP WM.
Okay, and then Sanjeev.
Hi, Krishna. I have overall 12 years of experience, including SAP in ITS, and currently I am into SAP MM and WM. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Sanjeev. And then Naveen.
Hey, Krish. I'm Naveen. I'm working in SAP from last 15 years. I have techno-functional. I worked in ABAP, MMPP, and WM.
Okay, that's good. And then Narakesh. Okay, maybe we'll proceed with Nirmalendu.
Hi, Chris. I'm Nirmalendu, and I have been working in SD area more than 6.5 years. I have an exposure to EWM, and I have total 12 years of experience, SAP experience.
Okay, that's good. Okay, and then Uma Mahesh.
Hi, Krishna. Good morning. I am Uma Mahesh from Bangalore, working in Capgemini. Have 3+ years of experience in SAP MM.
Okay, thank you. And then Shankar.
Hi. Hi.
Yeah, hi, this is Shankar. So I have over 17 years of experience in SAP SD, MM, RAR. So, yep.
Okay, thank you, Shankar. And Uma Mahesh.
Yeah, just I know I said no. Uma Mahesh, SAP MM, 3 years of experience in SAP MM.
Okay, and Narakeshar, you can introduce yourself. It looks you were not able to respond to me when I asked
Yeah, Krish, can you hear me now?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, actually, sorry, I'm using first time go to meeting. That's why I'm a little bit. It was unmuted actually. So myself, you can call me Kesar, and I've been. I'm working in Malaysia now, and I have total years of 6+ years of experience, and I'm working on MM and WM now. Okay.
Okay, that's good. And Venkatesh. Okay, Venkatesh. Okay, I'm not sure whether Venkat is having any issues in introduce himself. Okay. Okay, thank you again for joining today's demo. And this SAP S4HANA Logistics area, which includes SD and MM. So this training basically intended for both SAP SD and MM consultants. So the target audience for SAP S4HANA Logistics training is SAP SD and SAP MM consultants. And as part of today's demo, so we are going to discuss on below, on these topics. Basically, these are the topics, or these are the areas. So what we will cover during today's demo. And in addition to these topics, or in addition to these items, we will also discuss about, I will go through SAP S4HANA Logistics course content, and also I will explain you what are the different things we will consider, we will cover apart from regular course, or apart from the course contents. What additional or miscellaneous items we will take care of as part of this SAP S4HANA Logistics training. Okay, and then let us start with the first item of today's demo. That is the first topic of today's demo. What is SAP S4HANA Enterprise Management? So can you a few of the team members, can you share your idea, your exposure, or your knowledge on SAP S4HANA? What do you think? What's your understanding? You might have come across different articles, or you might have heard about SAP S4HANA through different people, like maybe in day to day, when you speak with other team members or your friends, you might have received some kind of understanding. You might have understood what is SAP S4HANA. Like maybe not everyone, at least 1 or 2 members, whoever it is. The reason for asking that question is I wanted to make the sessions more interactive, where you start participating, or you start sharing your knowledge, and then we'll discuss more on that.
Hey Krishna, here is Krishna here. The main thing people say is the simplification, number one, and the system is extremely fast. Those are the things, and the things I was reading mainly are to do with the getting rid of the extra extraneous tables which the previous system used, mainly in terms of if you look at the logistics mad dog table, which contains elimination of 20 plus tables associated in the logistics. All the information is sitting in the MADAC table, and in the finance side, AC DACE. That is the main thing, but I have never seen any kind of a screen or anything of that nature, so I can't comment beyond that. But behind the scenes, the process is, if you look at the sales order creation, G.V.Rao and things like that, probably would remain the same. But from an end user point of view, you have a tile based reports in the form of Fiori screens. So instead of looking at some report, clicking a button or a transaction code or a program, they could configure whatever the reports they want to do it and press a button and they get it. That is what I heard. But as I already mentioned, that I never typed into the HANA screen.
Okay, that's really good information. And there are small corrections, but we will discuss. Okay, we will clarify.
Wonderful.
Okay, I agree with you that SAP S/4HANA deals with transformation of our existing SAP database or data model to the
Yes.
new data model, simplified data model. In other words,
Yes.
basic
Fourth generation of HANA.
Yes, fourth generation of HANA, and also like
Yes.
the main.
It transferred the traditional ECC to HANA database. This is
Okay.
called fourth S4 means fourth generation of the HANA database, where we can see the cloud mainly. The target of participate business suite is cloud.
Okay, and anybody else? One more team member. Okay, let me explain. So basically, this SAP S/4HANA is SAP's next generation business suite. You can say the fourth generation business suite of SAP is SAP S/4HANA business suite or SAP S/4HANA enterprise management. So what it does, SAP S/4HANA delivers the massive simplifications. So this SAP S/4HANA business suite or SAP S/4HANA next generation business suite product, it delivers the massive simplifications and also innovations. It delivers massive simplifications and also it delivers innovations to help the business run simple in the digital economy. So what does it mean? Basically, when I say that SAP S/4HANA delivers massive simplifications in terms of customer adoption, in terms of the customer adopting this product for their business, and also in terms of the data model which comes with SAP S/4HANA is also having massive simplification. And also in terms of user experience. So user experience perspective also there is a huge simplifications or simplification processes available from the end user perspective. And not only that, in terms of decision making and in terms of business processes and the models. So when you think about SAP S/4HANA, it gives massive simplifications in terms of adopting the product, in terms of adopting SAP S4HANA for any client, or in terms of the data model, like the data table level changes, or the data model with respect to like whatever the Krishna already mentioned, that removal of some traditional tables, or removal of complex data model, or ignoring the complex data model and introducing or providing new data model, or other words, the simplified data model to the clients in SAP S4HANA environment. And in terms of user experience also, like you know that each and every SAP user is addicted to use of traditional GUI-based user interface. But whereas in terms of user interface, also SAP S4HANA has come up with a new concept of, or a new technology called SAP Fiori. And not only that, in terms of decision making also, when you think, or when your business or when your client uses SAP ERP or ECC, so the decision making process is more complex than the decision making which is taken care by SAP S4HANA. So in terms of all these things like customer adoption, or data model, or user experience, or decision making, or in terms of business processes also, if you think about your SAP ERP or ECC, there are some complex business processes, there are some complex data models, but all those complex data models or all those complex processes have been transformed into like simplified business processes or simplified data models. So these are all the different features which are available with SAP S4HANA, which is the next generation business suite of SAP. Okay, and then the other points what you have to take into consideration when you talk about SAP S4HANA. SAP S4HANA business suite only run on SAP HANA database. So I mean, in order to make you understand the more better way, if you think about your SAP ECC or SAP ERP, I hope you know that, I hope you are all aware that our SAP ERP or ECC can run or can build on any database. So that means you can use SAP ERP or ECC on Oracle database, or DB2 database, or SQL database, or Sybase, or even SAP ECC or ERP can run on HANA database. That means that if you think about SAP ERP or if you think about SAP ECC, there is no database restriction. There is no database restriction. But when you think about SAP S4HANA, it only run on SAP HANA database. SAP S4HANA new business suite product can only build or can only run on SAP HANA database. So like in order like before I explain little further, can you explain me what do you know about SAP HANA? I mean in other words, can anyone explain me what is SAP S4HANA Enterprise Management and what is SAP HANA? What do you know? What is your understanding?
Venkat, as far as I know, this is my practical experience. In my workplace, there are folks who run BW on SAP HANA, but the ECC runs on the regular Oracle database. So that much I know.
Okay, actually, my question is, okay, I can put this way. I knew, or even I guess most of the people or most of the team members in the session, or even the people who are in SAP world, they think that like they always get confused. They always get confused with what is SAP S4 HANA and what is SAP HANA. So I just want to clarify. I just wanted to clear out that point, because without knowing or without getting clarification on what is SAP S4 HANA or what is SAP HANA, I don't think it doesn't make any sense to proceed further. So that's why I just want to clarify. So for all our information, SAP S4 HANA is a business suite like SAP ERP. SAP S4 HANA Enterprise Management, it is a business suite like SAP ECC or SAP ERP. But whereas SAP HANA is a database like Oracle or DB2 or Sybase or SQL. So SAP HANA is a database which was developed by SAP itself. I mean, till the moment SAP developed HANA database, so before that, what happens? Each and every client, they used to depend, all SAP clients used to depend on non-SAP databases. And SAP thought that, why don't we develop a new database, which is a powerful database, which can fulfill all the requirements of SAP clients. And then what SAP did in the year of 2011, SAP developed a new database, or SAP developed their own database called SAP HANA. HANA is a database, but whereas SAP S4 HANA is a business suite, or SAP S4 HANA is a enterprise, is a new product of SAP. It's not the database. SAP S4 HANA, it's a ERP product, but SAP HANA is the database. And the association between SAP S4 HANA product, that is the business suite, and SAP HANA is SAP S4 HANA Enterprise Management product can only run on SAP HANA database. It cannot run on any other database, because SAP developed this database, which is a column-based database and which is also in-memory database. So due to the reason that SAP HANA database is in-memory database and also the column-based storage database, it is more powerful. SAP HANA database is more powerful than any other database in the current world. Okay, so that is the reason SAP made it mandatory to use HANA database for SAP S4 HANA, so that you can get all the benefits. You can see huge impact on your business process once you start using SAP HANA database with SAP S4 HANA Enterprise Management. Okay, so this is the difference between SAP HANA and SAP S4 HANA Enterprise Management. Okay, and now let me just revise whatever we discussed from the last few minutes. So basically, SAP S4 HANA is the next generation business suite of SAP, and it is only available on SAP HANA database, and also SAP S4 HANA Enterprise Management or SAP S4 HANA Business Suite. It is meant to replace our SAP ERP or ECC. So that means if any client is going for SAP S4 HANA Enterprise Management, that doesn't mean, that means, what does it mean? Like, it means they're replacing, if any client is going for SAP S4HANA Enterprise Management, it means they're replacing their existing ERP or ECC. So that's also, that means that SAP S4HANA is designed to replace SAP ERP or ECC. So that way, SAP S4HANA covers or SAP S4HANA deals the majority of the business functionalities previously available in the SAP ECC. So since SAP S4HANA developed to replace SAP ERP or ECC, what happens? SAP S4HANA covers all the majority of the functionality which was available in the SAP ECC or ERP. Okay, and also the concept behind SAP S4HANA is to give or to provide a simplified business suite which runs on SAP HANA and also with an SAP Fiori user interface. So what is Fiori user interface? We will talk little later. I will explain you about SAP Fiori like little later. So this is like what we need to know about SAP S4HANA. I mean, even when anyone asks you what is SAP S4HANA, you can say it is a 4th generation business suite and it built on SAP HANA and it replaces SAP ERP or ECC and it has the capability of dealing the new user experience with SAP Fiori and it also has the capability of simplified data model. Or it has massive simplifications. It delivers massive simplifications. So these are all the points what you can talk or what you need to refresh in your mind whenever you talk about SAP S4HANA Enterprise Management. So any doubts before I move to the next topic, the second item of today's demo, that is why do we need a new business suite? Before I start explaining that,
it's clear.
Okay, thank you so much, and let me get into the next point. Okay, that is why do we need a new business suite? So when I say that why do we need a new business suite, we need to discuss what are the different challenges facing by SAP ECC or ERP clients. So that means if you think about or if you look about SAP ERP or ECC limitations or SAP ECC or ERP like drawbacks. So I know that I definitely agree with you that you also know that SAP is a so powerful project. SAP is a so powerful product, right? SAP is the global leader. Even today, SAP ERP is the global leader in SAP, like in ERP sector, in ERP market, in the ERP world. SAP ERP is the global leader with the percentage of more than 70%. I mean, if 100 clients using ERP products, if 100 customers using ERP products, out of 100, 70 to 75% of the clients or the customers using SAP ERP or SAP ECC, and rest of the 20 or 25 to 30% of the clients are using like JD Edwards, PeopleSoft, Oracle, okay, or Bonds. There are some other ERP softwares as well, but the total share, the majority of the share goes with the SAP. So even though having said that SAP is a global leader, okay, still it has some limitations, right? Still it has some limitations, or still it has some drawbacks in satisfying the clients. Okay, before I get into that area, can anyone tell me, so why SAP is so powerful, or what made SAP to become so powerful and to get this much market share? I mean, you know that by the time of SAP comes to the market, there were other ERP softwares, like we have Oracle, we have JD Edwards, we have Bonds, or we have PeopleSoft. There were other ERP products. By the time SAP come to the market, like 30 to 35 years back, but why SAP become so great or so powerful, or why it was able to get 70 to 80% of the market share? What makes?
Is have a good integration
Excellent.
with other.
Excellent. Okay, one is the good integration, and the second one.
Industry solutions.
Okay, Krishna.
Strong reporting.
Reporting. That's the second thing, and then, like, whatever Krishna referred that. Okay, so basically, though it is not like, you might be knowing that. I just want to spend 1 or 2 minutes to go back, like, the period of 1970s to like 78 1980s. Let me put this way. So by the time of SAP coming to the market, we were having JD Edwards, we were having like Bonds, PeopleSoft, and Oracle. But what happens, that these are all like ERP products. But at the time, though we were having different ERP products, so no ERP product is very strong in all areas. I mean, if you look at Oracle, it was only very good. It was very strong to deal with the financial activities, financial related functionalities. And if you look at PeopleSoft, it was only very strong to take care of human resource activities, HR activities, HR department, HR functionalities. If you look at Barnes and JD Edwards, those were only strong at materials management and the production planning. But no ERP product was strong in all areas of companies or all areas of business. But only SAP was the only software which is very strong in all areas, with very, very, very strong integration between all the departments of an organization, and also with great reporting functionalities available in the SAP, for reporting functionalities required for the businesses. And not only that, SAP was the only company which keep updating, which keep introducing the products, like industry specific products, new dimensional products, like that. Every time they come up with new functionalities or the new areas or the new modules to support the business activities. So due to all these reasons, now SAP become so powerful or global leader. So now what we are trying to discuss, though SAP is so great, but still that there are many limitations, there are many challenges which are facing by the current customer base. So can anyone tell me what are the some major? I know that there are not many drawbacks, but there are some drawbacks. So can anyone tell me what are the drawbacks which you feel or which you felt with current ERP in SAP itself? I agree with you. When compare SAP with any other ERP, SAP is the leader. SAP is the strong. SAP is the only company which gives customer satisfaction. But still, when you think about SAP, within SAP, there are some drawbacks. There are some limitations.
User difficulty.
Hello, Uma, please.
Yeah, that means the front-end user is having some difficulty to run the transaction.
Excellent. I will talk about.
Hello, your voice is breaking.
Okay.
Hello.
Okay.
That means my explanation is compared to other ERP, the front end is very smooth, whereas in the ECC it is very difficult to make a transaction. That means that much of complexity is there.
Okay, you mean to say that it looks? I can put this way. I can understand that your intention is SAP is having complex user interface where users need users need a lot of training to perform a transaction, or users need a lot of documentation help to perform a transaction or to perform an activity in the system. Is that your intention?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Valid point. That's valid point. And apart from that, what about other limitations or other drawbacks which you feel are your client or your customers express to you all the time when you go with them? So when you contact them on daily basis, there are a few things definitely like the customer can express, the customer can convey, like it should have been like this, it should have been like that. Those things I'm just expecting from you.
Hello.
Yes.
Something like when they're running standard reports for a long time, they have problem with the database when they're connecting to SQL or Oracle. It's always go to runtime error and maybe dumps and all.
Excellent. That means the reporting becomes slower, right? The current reporting available in SAP ERP becomes slower. Like all the most of the clients are expressing or showing their concern towards the reporting slowness in SAP ERP or ECC. Okay, apart from the user interface or apart from the reporting, there are some other important things. Can anyone tell me?
Krishna, what happens is in the ECC environment, right now the cloud is the hot topic. Everyone is migrating to cloud. Everyone wants to put everything in the cloud. In the ECC, you cannot do that, at least as far as I know. So if you want to move into the cloud, you got to go to the S4 HANA. You cannot do it in the ECC environment.
Okay, that means the deployment option, right? That means you can say that is one of the
biggest advantages.
Yes, like that means there is a limitation. What the Krishna explaining, the Krishna's input is the SAP ECC or SAP ERP is not having a cloud deployment option. That means if any ECC client or SAP ERP client would like to adopt or would like to use the cloud environment, there is a limitation. It is not in a position to support the cloud-based environment. That's also a valid point. And still there is one or two more, which I am expecting, which is very, very main thing, main reason why SAP started thinking about a new system called SAP S/4HANA. Like, can anyone?
I think one more reason is the improvements in the chip technology where they could store it. I don't know the technical details. That is one of the reasons why they developed the HANA, because of the hardware improvements. They want to incorporate that into the system.
Okay. Let me explain you. So the first one is slowness in reporting. Okay. And the second one, like deployment option.
Yep.
That is cloud limitation.
Yeah.
And
complexity, user complexity.
User complex or complex user interface. Okay. And apart from this, I can say that did you ever come across a situation where your finance team always complaining that the month-end closing process takes like 2 days or 3 days or more than 1 day?
Yep.
So did you ever come across that? Like the month-end closing process is very, very delayed. Is very
intense. You need to have a lot of resources to do the month-end closing.
Exactly. So that
there are fallouts after that.
Correct. So that means generally what happens when finance, like month-end closing, I will explain you what is month-end closing issues. Okay. all these things. Okay, so month-end closing issues. So basically, if you think about in a very small clients, like the clients who are not having huge business, maybe for them it may be okay. They just need like less than 10 hours time, or like just 1 day time, or less than 1 day time. But if you think about all Fortune 500 companies, all the big companies, it takes days together to complete month-end process, to finish the month-end closing. Why? Because so when you think about month-end, there are many reports, there are many reports, there are many background jobs which they need to execute to say that month-end closing is done, or to complete the process of month-end closing. There are many reports, there are many transaction codes, what they have to come across, what they have to take care. So here what happens? So let me ask a question. So what if month-end closing process takes like 2 days or the 3 days? What is the drawback, or what do you think? Why it is so important? Why do you need to complete the month-end closing process so early or as soon as possible? What is the reason?
If you don't do that, reconciliation is going to be a big issue. You don't know this revenue goes in this period, that period. It's a legally you have to do it on time.
It will have financial implication as well.
Okay, so that means in other words, what happens? If you what is the outcome of month-end closing process? What it tells you once you close the month-end. So what you will come to know? That's my most important topic, which I would like to explain you. So what is the outcome of month-end? So once you close the month-end, what you will come to know?
Profit and loss.
Excellent. You will be knowing that what is your profit and what is your loss, and what else?
And maybe that's it will raise the audit issues to the company.
Even before the audit issues, from the management perspective,
management, they cannot use the system for the next month starting transaction, maybe delay in the transactions and all kind of.
Okay. Let me because I know that maybe each one is having their own perception. Okay, since that reason, basically, like when you finish the month end, you will be knowing which area is doing good, which area is doing bad. In other words, so which product is doing well or which product is not well, or which customer or which region we are doing well, which region we are not doing well. So when you know that, or when you come to know that like your strongest areas and the weakest areas, so what is your next action item? So you are going to take a corrective action, right? Am I correct? Yep. So that means it impacts your decision making process. Am I correct? Month-end closing process impacts your decision making process. So I mean, if month-end closing process takes like 2 or 3 days, what happens indirectly? Your decision making process will be delayed by the three days, right? Am I correct? I mean,
maybe more sometimes.
Yeah, yes. So I mean, if you are able to take the decision in time, like 3 days in advance or 2 days in advance, what is going to happen? So you are going to react to your market conditions, and you are going to take the proactive decisions to the market, okay, in order to correct your, in order to take care of all your drawbacks, all your issues, right? So this is also one of the the main reason why we need to close the month-end closing as soon as possible. And not only that, so if the month-end closing process goes well, you're able to close the month-end as without any issues from the audit perspective, from the financial perspective, so whatever it is, it will be very easy for your company to take care of all dependent activities, all dependent related responsibilities. So these are all the some of the limitations and some of the drawbacks which you come across, or which any client and any customer is coming across in the current situation. And not only that, do you know that MRP how much time the MRP job takes in most of the companies? The MRP job takes, like it takes like most close to like 12 hours or 13 hours or like 14 hours in some companies. And not only that, like even many reports like started running like once like the company business volume is increases, like once the company is having the big data, like the current ERP. So if the company is having big data, the current ERP or ECC is not in a position to support all the reports or to support all MRP areas. So due to all these reasons, what happens? SAP thought that, so why don't we introduce a new product called SAP S4HANA. So that is where SAP initiated, SAP motivated to develop the SAP S4HANA. So that means due to the reason that SAP ECC or ERP clients are having these limitations, due to the reason that SAP ERP or ECC clients are having these limitations, SAP decided to develop a new product called SAP S4HANA Business Suite with SAP HANA database. Both are two new things. HANA database is the completely new for SAP, which is SAP own database, and SAP S4HANA is a new business suite which is designed to replace our SAP ERP or ECC to satisfy the clients or to overcome the limitations of SAP ERP or ECC. Okay, this is what you need to keep in mind at this moment. And the next thing, so can anyone tell me why the reports are very slow? Or why the month-end closing is very slow? Can anyone tell me?
It reads a row wise, but HANA is developed in column wise. So.
Okay. Actually, you are directly going to very technical point. But you can think little from the functional side. Like why when a report is very slow, when you see that, and when you come across a report, I mean to say that, for example, it is like this. If you are working for a client since 5 years, maybe like if you keep changing the clients, you may not able to identify that point. But if any one of you had an opportunity to work for a client like more than 5 years, you might have observed one thing. Like the report which was working well 5 years back, and now it started running slow. Like, did you observe it? And why is it so?
Yes, Venkat, but because that execution duration is quite high.
I mean, the data volume, right? The data volume. So the one thing is the data available 5 years back is entirely very less in compared to the current data volume in the data model, the databases. Okay, that is just handling the big data. But my main point is, like, if you think about our current data model, so the reason for the slowness in the reporting is it's because of the current data model. The current data model in SAP ERP or ECC. So that means, in other words, I can say that in SAP ECC or ERP, we have the complex data model. So when I say the complex data model, what is that? That means in SAP ERP or ECC, we store the same data in multiple tables. Not only from the SD side, not only from the MM side, or wherever it is. I mean, just for an example, when you create a sales order, what happens? It stores that information in VBAK, and it stores that information in EBAP. It also stores that information in VBEP. It also stores that information UBUK or UBUP. But in all the places, you have the redundant data. You agree with me? Like you get the information called sales order details, sales order number in all the tables, or some the material or the item number in some of the tables. Like I can say that there is a lot of redundant data which is available in all multiple tables. So what happens if you have the huge data redundancy? What happens? What happens? Like you will be having high data footprint. Am I correct or not? If you keep storing the data redundantly, what happens? Ultimately, you will be end up with a high data footprint. That means it is like this. You have a movie, you have like a 1 GB movie in your laptop. If you store that same movie in 20 places, in the 20 folders, what happens? You are occupying the 20 GB data of your laptop. Am I correct? Your CPU or your total GB. Am I correct?
Yeah, correct.
And what happens if it happens? If it keep happening for all the files, what happens at end of the day? Your laptop becomes very slow. You agree with me? What happens like if data volume is increases, your data footprint is increases to a laptop. So what happens like automatically the laptop performance will be reduced or not? Or in simple words, let us say you bought the laptop today, and you know that definitely it works very faster now. But after 1 year or after 2 years, do you see the same performance? If you store so much data in the laptop, what happens? The performance will be reduced or not?
Yeah, it will reduce.
In the similar way, when you keep storing the redundant data, the same data in the multiple places, which is not required at all actually. Even from the MM side also, when you create a purchase order, you store the same data in EKKO or EKPO, or in even some other places. Or when you create a material, when it comes to the material data, you store MERC, you store MERD, or you store MERA. In all the places you have the material information, right? So, and not only that, when you create a material document, can you please mute? Let me mute. Okay. So when you create a material document, what happens? The same material document information will be also storing in MKPF or MSEC, material document header and material document item. So what happens? So there is so much data redundancy, which is leading to high data footprint. So because of the current data model, which is leading to the high data footprint, what happens? You will end up with the slowness in the reporting or slow reporting, and also ultimately your month-end closing process also very slow, because like all the transactions data or all the reporting data, like which is occupying so much database, so much data volume. Okay, so because of all these reasons, what happens? Like
Sanjeev this side. I have one question over here.
Sure, Sanjeev.
Yeah. So coming to this table, so in the S4 HANA, just we can assume or we can agree that there is no header and item level table in the S4 HANA database.
It's not just that, okay? Maybe like due to the reason that you might have come across discussions with the people that they just removed different header table or item table and made one table. Actually, it is not like that. It is not works in the same way for everywhere. Okay. Yes. If you think about the material document, I agree with you. Like maybe it is different in like they introduced a MAD doc by replacing MKPF or MSEC. Whereas, but when you think about the sales side, so we still have like header and item table, but we only removed like some status tables. Okay, so like this, we do have like an item and header table. In some places they removed aggregate tables. In some places they removed index tables. In some places they removed status tables. In some places they removed even header and item. They made one table. It's a different combinations. We cannot simply say that they removed item and header and they made one table. It's not right statement. Okay, we'll discuss. Okay, we'll discuss. Okay, so because of all these reasons, okay, SAP thought that we need a new business suite. Okay, SAP thought that we need a new business suite, and then SAP developed a new business suite called SAP S/4HANA with HANA database. So, and the next topic is like what are the business benefits of SAP S/4HANA? So we need to discuss about, we need to understand, so what benefits or what advantages a client will achieve when they go for SAP S/4HANA business suite. So the very first advantage or the benefit a client will achieve when they go for SAP S/4HANA implementation is the speed. The speed of the system is very, very fast, or in other words, there are some transactions which runs very faster, 100 times faster than SAP ECC, or hundreds of times faster than SAP ECC. So due to the reason that simplified data model in SAP S/4HANA and SAP HANA database. That means with the help of SAP HANA database, which is a powerful database with in-memory and column-based. Due to that reason and the simplified data model in SAP S/4HANA, what happens? Your system fastness is very, 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 very huge. Like you see, very fast response, the faster access to your data. You see very faster access to all your reports, or faster access in executing the transactions as well. That the first thing is the speed and the agility. And the second one is operational reporting. So basically, due to the reason that SAP S/4HANA built on SAP HANA database, what happens? All our reports, whether it is a standard report, whether it is a custom report, whatever the report you name it, every report, it runs very, 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 very faster. Even some reports you can see that 1,000 times faster than your SAP ECC or ERP reports. That means the way in which the reports runs in SAP ERP is entirely differently runs in SAP S/4HANA. So why? Because of SAP HANA database and the simplified data model as well. And the next one is, you can say the productivity is very high. The productivity is very high in SAP S/4HANA. Why? Because so due to the reason that SAP S/4HANA has enabled with, or has developed to cope up with SAP Fiori user interface. So due to the reason that SAP Fiori user interface is enabled with SAP S/4HANA business suite, what happens? The productivity will be more. How? Can anyone tell me how? Why? Or how you can increase your productivity? How you can increase your productivity in SAP S/4HANA with SAP Fiori user interface? It is because of these reasons. I mean, if you think about, if you use SAP Fiori, which is a new user interface, which is a modern user interface, in SAP S/4HANA, what happens? If you start using SAP Fiori user interface, your users does not require a complex training. You can save a lot of training hours, and you can save a lot of documentation hours. And not only that, you know that when SAP users start working on SAP ERP or ECC, they used to come across many unwanted screens or many unwanted tabs or many unwanted fields. You agree with me? You agree with me? Let me give this example. Let us take an example of approving PR, PO, or releasing the PR. Okay. If you think about a PR approval or PO approval, you know what happens? Who will approve? Your purchase manager, right? Purchase like manager or purchase coordinator, whoever it is. So here it is an activity of 1 minute job, right? Just approving a PR or approving the PO. It is just like 30 seconds activity. But in order to perform that, he needs to remember what is the T code for ME22 or what is the T code for ME52N and ME22N. And then in order to reach out that specific tab where you can approve the PR or where you can release the PO, he has to come across different tabs or different fields. You agree with me? Agree with me or not? That means the users are encountering or coming across unwanted screens or unwanted fields or unwanted tabs. So which is losing the time. So that means instead of 30 seconds, the users are spending 2 minutes or 3 minutes for each PO or each PR. So due to which they're not able to concentrate on some other things. But whereas when you start using SAP Fiori, you know what happens? You can save a lot of time. Your productivity will be very much high because the way in which you approve the PO where you spend like 2 minutes or 3 minutes in ERP is reduced to it has come down to like 30 seconds where you can save each activity, each PO like 1 or 2 minutes. So if you are doing the same thing for 20 or 30 documents, what happens? Ultimately, you are going to save 30 minutes per day specific to that activity. So if you use SAP Fiori, you can spend that 30 minutes of time on something else which will increase your business volume, which will increase your business revenue, or in whatever it is. So that way, the productivity is very, very high when you start using the SAP S/4HANA because your users are going to save a lot of time. And one more important thing with SAP Fiori is it has built up a concept of role-based authorizations. Role-based authorizations. What is meant by role-based authorizations? Can anyone tell me? What is role-based authorization?
This is basically like CRM. You have this hierarchy of manager and the supervisor. They have to approve something, and they do not need to see many fields or something, and that will be hidden for them. And there will be a role defined to that, and that role will be assigned to the user so that they have only specific fields, so they can see.
Excellent answer. Excellent answer. Yes, you are correct. Let me put this way. I'm not sure how many of you understood that. Okay. If you think about SAP ERP or if you think about SAP ECC, then your authorizations are not based on the roles, but your authorizations are based on the functions. The function what you are performing, not the role what you are performing. I mean, in SAP ERP or ECC, what happens if you are a salesperson or if you are playing the role as a sales function? or purchasing function, what happens? You will be giving access to that function, whether you are the manager, whether you are the consultant, the whoever it is. Everybody is having access to the same transaction code, and each person will be coming across all irrelevant screens or relevant screen, whatever it is. I mean, it is like this. As a manager, what is your role? You just need to approve the PR. You don't need to see all irrelevant or unwanted screens. You just, what is your role is, your manager role is just approve the PR. But due to the reason that our authorizations, the authorizations in SAP ERP are based on the function, even though you are the manager, you come across all unwanted things, and then you are doing whatever you are supposed to do. But whereas when you think about your SAP S4HANA, SAP Fiori, you know what happens? You don't need to come across all unwanted screens. You will be coming across only the screen where you can approve it. I mean, I can put this way. In SAP Fiori, in simple way, in the simple words, if you start using the Fiori, there is a tile or there is a section where you can see all the POs waiting for your approval. You can see a box like a tiles. In SAP Fiori, we can call it as a tiles. Each tile shows, one tile shows all PRs waiting for your release, or all POs approval for another tile waiting for your approval, or another tile waiting for all the leave approvals, or all travel approvals, or the travel request. So like this, your authorizations are given based on the role what you are playing. Okay, so that is also one of the reason which can increase your productivity in SAP S4HANA. And the other important advantage or benefit what you can come across is the simplification. So that means SAP S4HANA has simplified a lot. They simplified the system to the maximum extent by removing all the redundant tables, all unwanted processes. They removed all unwanted business processes. They removed all redundant business processes or business models. Okay, and they reshuffled some of the areas from this area to that section, that area to this model, this area. Like that, they did so much transformation in the system in terms of data model, in terms of processes, in terms of business models. Okay, so that simplification is also available with SAP S4HANA. So actually, I wish to proceed the rest of the topics, but what I wanted to do, we will proceed to the rest of the topics during our first day of the training. So which I will be starting the coming not this Tuesday morning, the coming the next Tuesday morning in 1 week, or 8 days. I'm going to start the new batch. So once we start the new batch, then we'll talk about the remaining topics in the demo, and then we'll continue to our training program. But what I wanted to do right now is I wanted to go through the course content, the what I will be covering, or the way how I designed the course. I am going to explain how this course has been designed and what areas I'm going to cover under this training, and all other related information. It takes probably 15 to 20 minutes of time to go through the course content in other details. Okay, and before that, if you don't mind, I know that I have the details of the team members attended for the demo. I have forward information. I'm not sure. I hope I had it, but I'm not sure. But at the same time, I do not know whether I have your information, your email ID, contact number. Okay, if you don't mind, you can provide your details in the chat box while I start explaining course content. Okay, so if you already contacted me, that's fine. Definitely I should be having, but still I request you, to provide your email IDs or the contact numbers in the chat box. Okay, thank you. And let me revise.
Krish, I have a question.
So let me go through course content. Okay, just give me 1 minute time.
I have a question, quick question.
Sure. Sorry, Nirban, tell me.
Okay, I have a question about the certification. Can you explain about the certification? As I can understand, there are 2 certification, and they are cloud as well as in premise, right?
Okay.
No,
Okay.
I do not know. So I'm asking
I will tell you. So basically, with respect to certification, SAP is offering, or the certification which we all can go, which you all can go is certificate associate, SAP S4 HANA sales. That is one certification for the SD team members. Okay, certificate associate SAP S4 HANA sales 1610 version. Okay, the certification which is available in the market is 1610. And then the second certification which is available for SAP MM, that is certificate associate SAP S4 HANA procurement 1610. So these are the 2 certifications which are available for both SD and MM consultant. So if you have the knowledge of, if you are SAP SD consultant with SAP MM knowledge, then 80% or 70% of the things are very common, and you can go for SAP MM as well. Or if you're already working on SAP MM, some of the areas are SAP SD, then you also can go for SAP SD S4 HANA sales certification. If in case you only know SAP SD or you only know SAP MM, then what you can do, you can go for your respective certification. That is for SD sales and distribution team members, certificate associate SAP S4 HANA sales 1610. For MM procurement team members, SAP S4 HANA procurement, what is that? 1610 version. So this is what is available. And after completing the course, what I am going to do, I am going to conduct one specific session, one special session to explain you how to register for certification and what is cloud subscription to perform the certification, and I will go through the certification questions, and I will also go through the certification process. So this is the session which I have been conducting from the last previous batches, all the previous batches. The same session will be conducting for the coming batch as well, but that happens after completing the course. After completing the course, the next session, the next thing is a special session on SAP S4 HANA certification process. Okay.
Krishna, I have one query. Hello.
Yes, Uma, tell me.
Actually, recently one of my ex-colleague is done a certification in on-premises, like 17 series, S4 HANA 17 series. But you are saying that it is 16 series. It is cloud or for or on-premises?
Okay, I'm telling on-premise. Okay, on-premise only 1610 available as far as I know, but maybe I'm not sure since you are telling. But even I verified in the last week. On-premise, we have only 1610 version for both sales and the procurement.
Okay.
Yeah,
but
that's
is from FI.
Maybe if anyone of you know 100% sure, you can confirm me, you can correct me if I am wrong. I'm strongly believe.
One more thing, the certification is for is on premise or for cloud? Why? Because for most of the certification hired for cloud only.
No, I would recommend go for the on-premise versions. Okay, cloud version you do not really need, because the cloud, there are multiple things. Okay, it updates very quarterly basis, and also the cloud implementations are there, but still like the on-premise is the one which will help you a lot in the market, in the current market.
Okay.
Okay.
But cloud is, I have heard it is difficult.
It's difficult in the sense, the only reason is, we are not able to get the access to the cloud. Okay. That is the one thing. And it's always like, keep updating like on the quarterly basis. Okay. And also, as even SAP is not offering like, all the versions of the cloud. There is some restriction, and you can say that it's not a full product even. I mean, the functionalities available, the functionalities which are available in the on-premise may not be available in SAP Cloud. I mean, SAP on-premise, SAP S/4HANA on-premise is a full product. SAP S/4HANA on-premise is a full product. But whereas SAP S/4HANA Cloud is a limited product. It's not come up with all the functionalities of SAP. There are some restrictions, okay? I will tell you, when we start explaining the first or second day of the class, I will explain you how on-premise is different from the cloud, what are the differences, and what happens in each, what is your role, or what is the client role, or how a cloud implementation is different from the on-premise version. We'll spend close to like 30 to 40 minutes of time to understand differences between cloud and the on-premise. You don't need to worry.
Krishna, for majority of the clients, the public cloud is of no use, most because they have customized so much, they have to use the on-premise cloud.
You are correct, because the very, very, very important point, or very, very big limitation with the cloud is, like, you cannot do the enhancements, you cannot customize the system. I mean, actually, we will discuss, actually, if I start explaining that, Krishna, you are correct. If I start explaining, again,
yeah, we will discuss later. That's not a problem.
We will discuss, but in one word, in on-premise, it is like SAP, ERP, or ECC, whatever the enhancements you can make, whatever the modifications you can make, you can do. But in the cloud, you don't have that privilege, you don't have that flexibility to make enhancement to the system, since it is controlled by SAP. The cloud is always controlled by SAP. That due to that reason, like you don't have the ability, or you don't have much flexibility to enhance the system, or even like even if you want to do, it is very costly. It is very, very costly thing to modify the system, since it is big change for the SAP to modify the cloud versions. Okay, cloud system. We'll talk. Don't worry. Nirmalendu, are you good with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
And one last clarification. For the both certification, the course fee is once we'll have to pay, right?
Okay. It is like this. In SAP S/4HANA, it is not, the certification for SAP S/4HANA is not like our traditional SD or MM. Okay. There is something called cloud subscription. There is something called cloud subscription, where you have the provision of attempting the certification for multiple times, and where you have the provision of attending the certification for multiple things. We will talk that part, like once we start, or once we close the course. Okay. That's what I will explain. I will explain completely that, because since the certification process for SAP S/4HANA is entirely different. Okay, I designed the course, for I designed a special session for that. It requires at least 1 hour to understand, the complete process. It's not a traditional way. Okay. Let me open. So let me open the course content. Where I stored it, 1 minute. Okay, SAP S/4HANA logistics course content. Okay, that's good. So I hope all of you already shared. Jitish, yes, I thought. Okay, you don't need to provide. Okay, I should be having your details. Okay.
Hey Krishna, can you hear me?
Yes, Shankar.
Yeah, quick question. So when you start the class on, okay, my question was that. So when you start the class on Tuesday, would it be every day?
I will explain you now. I will explain you now. That's what I'm going to explain. Okay.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. So basically, this SAP S4HANA logistics course requires close to 35 to 40 hours of training. We require minimum 35 hours of training, and it can be like 40 hours as well. But if the situation demands, we'll spend 40 hours of training as well. And at the current moment, I'm conducting the classes on weekdays, like 4 days for the week. That is every day 1.5 hour, 1 hour 30 minutes for each class, and I'm spending four classes for the week. Okay. Right now, I'm not planning any weekend batch. If I plan the weekend batch, I can spend 3 hours per the day. That is Saturday and Sunday. But right now, I don't have any plans to like at this moment for the weekend. But I'm only planning to like conduct weekday sessions. Okay. And as you know that it is online training where we use GoToMeeting as a tool to interact each other, to share the screens. Okay. And then as part of this training, I will be providing the soft copies of documentation like SAP S4HANA certification file for sales functions and innovation, SAP S4HANA certification file for procurement functions and innovations, and SAP S4HANA introduction file, that is a PDF file, SAP HANA introduction PDF file, and SAP activate methodology PDF file, and also SAP S4HANA implementation scenarios PDF file, and also SAP S4HANA Innovative Logistics PDF file. So these are all the PDF files what I will be providing as part of this course. And apart from that, I will be also providing the presentation PPTs. The PPTs prepared by me. Like I have prepared, like based on all these PDF files and other stuff, whatever I have come across during my work or during my referring the documentation. I prepared my own PPTs like for implementation scenarios, for SAP S4HANA introduction or SAP HANA introduction or SAP SD simplification data model, whatever activity methodology or best practices. I prepared my own PPTs. I will also provide those PPTs as well. And also I will be providing some articles and the case studies which I have collected from the different sources. Okay, this is the documentation what I will be giving to you. And the server access, you will be getting total 6 months of the server access for both SAP S4HANA and SAP Fiori. Okay, you will be getting access to the 17.09 version, which is leading the market. Yes, I know that SAP is going to release 18.08 very soon, but as of now, the access which is available in the market 17.09. But as soon as the 18.08 access is available, immediately I will stop providing 17.09 and I will start providing 18.08 access. Okay, you don't need to worry about it. And then you will be getting the guidance. Okay, 1 minute. You will be getting the guidance to complete the certification, like a certification for the sales and certification for the procurement. Okay, and this SAP S4HANA logistics training has been classified, has been divided into total 5 sections or the 5 parts. Okay, the section 1 or the part 1 deals with, or in other words, I'm going to explain you three areas in the part 1. That is, we will talk about SAP S4HANA overview and SAP HANA overview, okay, and SAP Fiori overview. So in the section 1 or the part 1, we'll talk about SAP S4HANA overview, SAP HANA overview, and SAP HANA overview. So once we understand what is SAP S4HANA, what is SAP HANA, and what is SAP Fiori, then we will get into the second part, That is like where we talk about the material master and the business partner. Basically, we talk about most of the master data items in the part 2. Like we spend close to 7 to 8 hours of time in understanding the business partner concept, because in SAP S/4HANA there is no customer master, there is no vendor master. We have only one master for everything, even forwarding agent or whoever it is. We have only one master, that is the business partner master. And the second one, like material master. Since there is a huge changes applicable for the material master in terms of fields, in terms of tabs, in terms of field length, whatever it is, we also need to discuss. We need to spend the good amount of time on the material master. So apart from the master data, we will very high level will talk about like some basically like whatever I talk here just for one session, everything will be covered like in the part 3. Okay. So even though I say that SDMM PP IM, but still so here in the part 3 we'll spend close to 12 to 14 hours of time. I can say 12 hours of time for SAP SD simplifications and SAP MM and IM. MM and IM inventory management simplifications in the part 3. But here in the part 2 or section 2, we'll just try to understand what is MRP, what is MRP live, or what is MRP live on HANA in the part 2. After discussing the master data, we'll just talk for some time about the MRP live, which is related to PP, and there is a part 2. Once we finish part 2, we will get into the part 3. That is I can say it is the core part of training. The core part of training is the part 3, where we discuss SAP S/4HANA sales, simplifications, data model, and also the process changes, and SAP MM simplifications, data model changes, and also business process changes. So that's what we spend in the section 3 or the part 3. And the part 4, though it is not the core part of training, but I can say it is the critical part of training. The part 4 or the section 4, it is the critical part of training. So that which is called, I call it as implementation scenarios. I mean, under the part 4 or the section 4, we talk about, okay, what is a system conversion, or what is a new implementation, or what is a landscape transformation. That means we will see, we will discuss what are the different options, what are the different ways to get into SAP S/4HANA. So whether we can do the new implementation to go for SAP S/4HANA, or whether we can do the system conversion to go for the SAP S/4HANA, or whether we can do the landscape transformation to go for SAP S/4HANA. So that is what we do under section 4. It is very, 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 very important important section of this training, which is called implementation scenarios available for SAP S/4HANA. And the last part of training is like activate methodology. We talk about basically in SAP S/4HANA we don't have ASAP methodology in SAP S/4 for SAP S/4HANA implementations. For SAP S/4HANA implementations, we don't use ASAP methodology. Instead of that, SAP come up with a new methodology called activate methodology. So that's what we discussed in the part 5. And also we'll talk about there is something called guided configuration, which is part of activate methodology. We'll talk about that. And finally, we close our training like with SAP Fiori. Like I said, we'll spend good amount of time for SAP Fiori because it's very, very, very important for SAP S/4HANA projects and SAP S/4HANA implementations, or SAP even SAP S/4HANA like system conversions or whatever it is. And apart from this, we will also talk about SAP S/4HANA best practices. We'll talk about SAP S/4HANA best practices. Okay, so this is about the course content. So just give me 5 more minutes, then I will give option for you to ask the questions. And after this, you will be getting recordings. You will be getting recordings for each and every session once I convert. Because basically what happens when I take any sessions, it will be like I can say that recorded in the G2 go to meeting format, which I need to convert to the like an MP4 or MP3, okay, which takes little time. Once it is converted, I will be sharing each and every recording after completing the sessions, and you will be having access to the recordings lifelong. you will be having access to these recordings lifelong. And for your information, we cannot, you cannot download the recordings, but you can have access forever. But due to some reasons, I'm not providing the download option, but you will be having access for these recordings lifetime. And also, at any point of time in the future, let us say after 6 months, so you want to come back to the training. Yes, you can come back anytime, or you want to get the latest recordings after 6 months of 1 year. You just wanted to get the current recordings which I'm conducting at that time after 1 year. You will always get the recordings as well. Okay, you can come back to the training at any time, or you can get the latest recordings if you don't have time to come back. And not only that, if in case if I'm conducting any special session or any special topic or special area which is going to be available in the future, let us say after 4 months, SAP introduces something new which is not covered at this moment, So whenever I'm going to cover that the new thing after 2 months or 4 months or 5 months, I will be, because I created a new group like called SAP S/4HANA students, I will be inviting everyone for all the new topics of all the new sessions which I will be covering anytime in the future. So these are all the the training course contents and the training miscellaneous things, and you will be getting help for the certification. You will be getting help for the resume preparation, or you will be getting you will be getting some questions, certification questions, and also you will be getting some help for even for for interview questions kind of thing if you are trying to change the job. So and I'm always available on my WhatsApp, and even I'm based out of US. I have been working on SAP since 12 years. I started my SAP career in 2006 as a SAP SD consultant, and then I worked on SAP IS Media, SAP GTS, SAP MM, a little bit of PP, and I got opportunity to touch a couple of areas of SAP. Okay, and I have been staying in US more than 6 years, and you can contact me on WhatsApp, or you can contact me on mobile anytime. Sometimes I may not respond to you immediately, but at end of the day, or in a day or two, definitely I will come back to you. Okay, so this is what is from my end for today's demo or today's thing. And as I already mentioned, in 1 week I'm going to start the new batch. And meantime, I start follow up with all of you people and the people who already attended the previous demos. I will follow up with you. And regarding the fees, I will talk to you after the demo individually. That's why I requested you provide your details. I will talk to you individually. Maybe tonight it's already 11:45 EST, but by tomorrow onwards, one or two people for a day, I will start contacting you to explain the fees and other things. Okay. Now, if you have any questions, you can ask me.
Krishna here. My question is, see, you said SAP Fiori. I think probably it would be better if you cover the other areas as soon as the configuration or whatever the other areas you are covering. At the time you go to the Fiori application and see how it works. That way we will get to know immediately what we do. And see, let us say you have a business partner, right? I want to run a report on the business partner, say previous customers or vendors. Go to the Fiori as an end user and demo it and see how you can use it rather than incorporating at the end. You just spread it over as and when needed.
Sure, I will do that. Basically, when it comes to the Fiori, what we will do, we will start explaining SAP Fiori overview, and then we will discuss about what are the different kind of apps available in SAP Fiori, and also we will discuss what is the step-by-step process to implement a new Fiori for our client. And also where can you find that what nodes need to be implemented as part of SAP Fiori implementation. And apart from this, you will also having the demonstration of SAP Fiori tiles, SAP Fiori system, and how to add the new tile or how to make a personalized screen for your client, or how to find the available apps in the system. All these things, whatever the theory knowledge required for a functional consultant. So from the functional perspective, I will be spending all those things. Close to like, we'll spend close to 3 to 4 hours of time for theory itself. Okay.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you, Krishna. No problem. Any other questions? Okay, just ask me. So
Yeah, Venkat, Sanjeev this side. I have one question here.
sure, Sanjeev.
Yeah. So just I wanted to know in which section just we are covering that any configuration part over here related to that S4 HANA.
Section 3, the core part of training, that is SAP S4HANA sales, simplifications, functions, process changes, model changes.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
No problem. Okay. So Kuladeep, you have any questions?
No questions as such, Venkat.
Okay. And Narakesar.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Krish. I think I'm fine. You're quite clear on all, and it's really interesting, and we will see forward.
Okay, sure. I will call you. Okay, I will call you. I may not call you all of you at one day, but I will try to call you all of you like in a day or two. Okay. I just need 1 or 2 days time.
How do you get my contact? Should I give my?
Actually, I already asked you to provide in the chat box.
Okay. In chat box, I will email my. Thanks.
Sure, please. And Venkatesh, I hope you provided your email ID, right? Venkatesh. Venkatesh.
Hello, sir. I'm Jitesh here.
Okay, actually, I'm not Jitesh. I'm asking for Venkatesh, Jitesh. I'm asking Venkatesh to provide the details.
Okay. I will reach out to you after today or tomorrow.
Okay, sure. Thank you. Definitely. So thank you all for joining today's session, and see you soon. Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you.